Welcome back to the Voice of Mongolia in English. We are going to present an interview of visiting professors of the Stanford University and a student of University of California, San Diego on their current purpose of the current visit.
Hi, I'm Aditya Mahadevan, and I'm a visiting student from University of California, San Diego.
Well, tell me about that course you're conducting for the Mongolia National University.
So my course is called GRASP Mongolia, and GRASP stands for Growth, Professional Relationships, Attitude, Self-Belief, and Professionalism. And basically the course is a general wellness, professionalism, and leadership course, and it's basically designed to help students anywhere from high school to college to even in grad school. And the idea behind the course is that it presents non-traditional topics like leadership and professionalism that aren't taught in a traditional course like maybe a mathematics course, but can be extremely helpful to helping students succeed in the long term. So the course is divided into two groups because I'm doing an experiment on online education. The first group, which is taking the course online, was briefed on Sunday morning, and that's when they took their surveys, and this group will take their final tests on Thursday morning. And the lecture group, which met yesterday, Monday, finished all of their pre-course materials, the lectures, and the post-course materials yesterday.
Uh-huh. How are the attitudes of the students? How many students were there in your course?
So for the live group, we had around 350 students. It was very packed. And for the online group, I understand that it was less. It was about 100 students. And this makes sense because getting access to the internet isn't always easy. But we were still very pleased with the turnout of 100 kids for the online group. So to this date, this venture, GRASP Mongolia, has been my own project, but I'd like to get Mongolia National University, MNU, involved with my school, the University of California, San Diego, UCSD, in the future. So maybe next year I may launch a venture where I bring students with me to teach this course and variants of this course that can really provide a positive impact to the youth in Mongolia.
Mm-hmm. Where did you gather your knowledge from?
So it's interesting. So about 2 years ago, I taught a course in India that helped paramedics learn leadership and basically learn how to cope with pressure. And after doing that, it's really when I started thinking that I could launch a very accessible sort of version of this course with more detail and more knowledge to kids that are a little bit younger that might need the information, because it's not easily accessible information. It's not easy to learn about how a growth mindset works or read about studies and figure out what they're saying. But if I can present that in a very accessible, easy way, then a lot of kids can benefit from that, especially in foreign countries.
Mm-hmm. So how long you been in Mongolia?
So I got to Mongolia, I think it was last Monday, and we had a little bit of fun in the countryside. We went to the Gobi Desert, and we had a number of great cultural experiences interacting with Mongolians living in villages and yurts. It was a lot of fun.
How did you find it? Tell me specifically about it as well.
Yeah, so
which was the most impressive
So
part?
my impression was I was shocked at how vast the plains were. There's so much lush greenery. Back in California, where I'm from, we're currently in a drought, but Mongolia, the plains are really green. The hills are beautiful. The wildlife is untamed in the natural parks like Huste, where we saw the horses. It's really different than California, but it was a great experience and something I won't forget.
I've heard you drink arak. How did you find it? The fermented mare's milk.
Well, yes. As part of respect to my guide in Mongolia, I tried arak, and as my guide put it, it was an acquired taste. Maybe not something I like right now, but something I could see that people would learn to love over time.
Mm-hmm. If you will need to, if you will have a choice to live in Mongolia, would you? Because you got introduced a little bit.
In the time I've spent here, Mongolia had some definite pluses over other places I've been. Mm-hmm. For one, the weather is great. It's not very humid and the air is nice. There isn't an overexposure to insects or the harsh sun, and the people were very warm and inviting. which I haven't always found to be the case when I travel. So I think I would definitely be open to spending more time in Mongolia.
And how did the cooperation start? The cooperation of the two universities
So
start?
last winter, my dad had a venture with Mongolia National University. So after he established connection, I'd realized that Mongolia was a place I wanted to go. So after that happened, he put me into contact with a lady at Mongolia National University, and based on that, I sent a number of emails and we established a connection. And she told me that the students were very interested in a course like mine. So after that, we began to collaborate over email, and eventually I flew over here and gave the course.
So are other Mongolian universities welcome to join your
So
project?
I haven't actually reached out to other Mongolian universities, but I think Grasp Mongolia, as the name says, isn't just intended for MNU, though they've been very generous to me. I think it's a resource that a lot of Mongolian students could use in other universities and high schools in Mongolia, especially because I have translated the course using a translator from English to Mongolian. So I think that it's not just for MNU, it's for any Mongolian youth who wants to use it. I think they can benefit from it, and I'm open to sharing it with them.
It's the first visit of you to Mongolia, right?
Yes.
So you had that picture like you were expecting to see in Mongolia. How different was it? Like, what was the picture you were imagining in your head?
So when I was thinking about Mongolia, what I heard is that the weather is extremely harsh, and the climate alternates between snow and dry desert. But I was pleasantly surprised. Like, we visited the Gobi Desert, and the land seems a lot more fertile than I thought. There's a lot more wildlife than I thought. It's a lot less polluted than I thought it may be. And the people are a lot friendlier than I was expecting, because often in foreign countries, the language barrier makes it hard to connect with people, and people are not always open to people who are foreigners. But in Mongolia, the reception has been really warm, and it's something I've really enjoyed since I've been here.
So how did you think of the Mongolian youth? Because you were working with them
Yeah,
for some
so
time.
Mongolian youth, very much like the youth back home, so they're very young, somewhat inexperienced, but they were all very excited to be at my course, and I was very impressed with how attentively they listened. Often it's very easy, because my lecture spanned about 4 hours, to get distracted, to go on your phone, to leave frequently, to show up late. But that didn't really happen. I felt like the people who were there really wanted to be there, and that really helped me teach better and really teach to the best of my ability.